over time. That's my own personal goal as well, as I continue to work in Truvision to improve my refinement and become a better person. So that's kind of our mission statement here. One of the questions is, why did you leave other companies and focus on Truvision? Well, one of the things I encountered is when I provided products to other companies, they wanted to have me modify formulas, for example, make it as good tasting as possible, or make it a uniform taste, while certain products, because they have a high content of natural ingredients, simply don't lend themselves to having a uniform taste batch after batch after batch, unless you do things to modify that taste, like play with the ascorbic acid content, which then in turn disrupts or alters the pH of a particular product. And I don't like to alter the pH of a product. I believe that things can be absorbed best at certain pHs. And so I had to do that when working with other companies to satisfy their wants and demands. And I didn't want to have to do that. So part of the reason why I focused totally on Truvision now is at Truvision, I can do the formulas the way I like to. I don't have to make modifications that can impact pH and things like that in the formulas. And so I love that. And it also gives me a chance to pursue that goal, as I said, of avoiding and helping to create a culture that does not promote materialism. So that's a lot of the reason why I left other companies. A question here is, what is the difference about TrueFix compared to your original blood chemistry formula? And we have added some complementary ingredients to the TrueFix. The latest version of TrueFix, especially what we've introduced here at Truvision, has some incredible things. Like, for example, one difference between the current version of TrueFix and prior original formulas that I did is this one has cinnamon bark extract, which really helps with blood sugar management. And we have a few other things in there that help with regulating blood pressure and other aspects. So this is by far what we offer here at Truvision is the most advanced and most beneficial formula that I've ever put together. And we feel really, really good about that. And then it also says, what's the difference between what we're offering in our weight management enhancement product versus the original weight management enhancement? In other words, a product which is designed to be taken with the TrueFix to enhance the weight loss. Again, we've been able to make progress over the years with different ingredients, to find ingredients that operate better in a weight management product and really are beneficial. And so we've added those in. So our latest formulas of our weight management have some really cool things in them. Like, for example, an ingredient that's in our latest formula that wasn't in my original weight management formula is dendrobium. That's a natural extract from the orchid family, and dendrobium is a wonderful product which helps the body and encourages the body to go into a fat-burning process, especially when dendrobium is taken in conjunction with other mild ingredients that help promote a fat-burning process. So we've added some things in this latest formula that really make it the best that we've ever produced. And as long as I'm talking about that, let me just say this, guys, we're never content. Once we have a great formula, we're not content to just sit back on our laurels and say, okay, we've done it. It's done. We're always looking at new research that's out there, looking to see what the leading edge ingredients are and if they're really truly beneficial or not. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the health industry. There's a lot of salespeople in the health industry who promote ingredients to us that they make claims, and we always dig into those claims very deeply to see. We drill deep to see if the claims are really founded, if they really work or not. And if we find something that looks promising, we'll try it. We'll put together test formulas and do test groups to see if it works. We will never be content or think that we've actually made it and we have the final formula that's going to be here for 20 years, because there's always new technology, new science is coming out, and we like to stay abreast of that. So we're always looking to improve. Let's see. What other questions here? Will you lose weight by taking one or the other? Meaning Trufix and True Control, will you lose weight if you just take one or the other without taking them together? The answer to that is yes. If you take Trufix by itself, just the fact that it helps with blood sugar management, that alone and by itself can help the body lose weight in a very subtle manner. If you take the True Control by itself, yes, you will lose weight, but you're handicapping yourself if you take one or the other. You really should be taking both of them together. The Trufix lays a foundation of managing blood sugar and helping other organs in the body so that when you take the True Control, it operates much more efficiently, much more effectively than if you just took it by itself. So I highly recommend that you take both together. They really are designed to be used with each other. Now, obviously, a lot of people who don't have weight issues or energy issues, a lot of people will take our True Control strictly for energy. They don't have to lose weight. We've made this True Control formula such that it's not going to cause your body to burn tissue indiscriminately, meaning if you don't have excess fatty tissue, if you take True Control, you're not going to start burning lean muscle tissue. So we have people who don't need to lose weight who take True Control for energy. Let's say you really don't have any energy or weight management needs, you can take the Trufix by itself. I always recommend taking Trufix. I think that should be a staple in people's daily routine, that every day they're taking the Trufix, because who wouldn't want to help out their blood chemistry as much as possible? We have found that when you optimize your blood chemistry, you impact every single organ and major system in your body in a very positive way. That's why we get so many benefits that are not even weight management related from people reporting benefits that aren't even related to the weight management. And again, we have to be careful what we say. We don't want to make it sound like snake oil or make it sound like it's treating or curing things. But needless to say, we have a lot of benefits reported to us. And the reason why we feel that happens is because you are benefiting in a very positive way. Every major organ and system in the body when you take the Trufix. Another question here is, do the pills work as well as the liquids of Trufix and True Control? What is the difference? Some are saying that it takes two Trufix pills to equal one packet. So let me answer all those questions. The benefit of taking in a liquid versus a pill is you tend to absorb it more quickly, and that's the main benefit of taking a liquid. When you take a pill, you've got to wait for it to go through the digestive process, be dissolved, go into the intestinal tract, and then be absorbed through the intestinal tract. Well, if you take a liquid, starting with receptors that are in the mouth and the throat all the way down into the stomach, your body starts absorbing elements from that product, from that drink immediately. So you do get a quicker absorption in general when you take a liquid versus a capsule. However, the capsules are designed to dissolve very quickly. They're designed to get into the system fairly quickly for a capsule type product. So, you do get a great benefit from the capsule too. And on the comparison of the Trufix drink versus the Trufix pills, the Trufix drink does contain twice the amount of a plant extract that provides an element called chlorogenic acid, which is very beneficial. It's one of the workhorse ingredients in the Trufix product. So yes, when you take a Trufix drink or a stick, you in essence are getting twice the chlorogenic acid that you get when you take a capsule. So that is true. And let's see, I'm trying to handle all the Trufix questions kind of all together. One of the questions that we've had is how much water should you take Trufix and True Control in, and how quickly should you drink them? Here's what I recommend. When you put them in water, try to drink it within 30 minutes. It's not because the ingredients themselves lose efficacy, but it's because you want to get the full dose of those ingredients in your system as quickly as possible, versus metering out the full dose over the entire morning or even an hour or two. So I always tell people, if you can, try to drink it within 30 minutes so you're getting all the ingredients in there. Now, there are some cases where people may be extremely sensitive to stimulants. True Control does have a little bit of stimulant in it. It's a mild stimulant product, but there are people who are extremely sensitive to those, or their body just tends to react to certain types of stimulants in a stronger way. And those people, it is good to have a drink because then you can meter it out. You can take that drink over the course of an hour or two and meter out how quickly your body's getting all the ingredients. But for most people in normal circumstances, normal situations, take that product within 30 minutes so you can get it all into your system. And water, the amount of water, again, if you're mixing in 64 ounces, you may have trouble getting all that down in 30 minutes. So take it in the amount of water that, number one, you can get it in 30 minutes, and number two, suits your taste. Some people are very sensitive to taste and sweetness and things like that. So the beauty of this is you can water it down if it's too strong tasting, or mix it in not as much water if you don't mind a stronger taste. But whatever you do, try to put it in an amount that you can take within 30 minutes at most, so you can get all those ingredients into your system. I hope that makes sense to you. In weight loss, let's talk about weight loss itself. And the question is asked, what happens when you hit, or if you hit a plateau? Let me talk about plateaus. Most of us, when we gain weight, we usually don't gain it all at once. There are exceptions to that. For example, certain medications or prescriptions can cause a person to gain weight very quickly, or pregnancy can cause someone to gain weight very, very quickly, and then it's hard to get that weight off after pregnancy. But as a general rule, when we gain weight, most of us gained it in a series of plateaus. We gain a few pounds and then stay there for a while, then gain a few more pounds, stay there for a while. What's happening is your body is basically being re-educated to be trained to say, okay, I'm healthy at this BMI, or in other words, this percentage of body fat. It gets accustomed to that. And then it kind of says, okay, I can have some more body fat. I'm healthy here. And so then you get more body fat. And then within 10, 15, 20 years, all of a sudden you might be 40, 50, 60 or more pounds overweight. And it was gained in a series of plateaus. What our products do as a general rule is they also work in a reverse plateau method. Every now and then you'll see someone take our product who will just continually lose weight until they get down to their target weight. But more often than not, what you'll see is people losing weight in a plateau pattern, meaning they'll take the product, they usually lose some weight right out at the beginning, but then they may plateau for a while. And then if they continue to take the product, if they're patient and continue to take the product, then they'll lose a few more pounds. The good news is, while it might have taken 10, 15, 20 years to plateau up to the point where a person is, it's not going to take those 10 or 15 or 20 years into the reverse plateau to get down to where they want to be. But it is done in a reverse plateau type of pattern as you lose weight. What you need to do is be patient, continue to take the products, and recognize that even though you may plateau, so you're not quite getting the weight loss benefit you're looking for, your body is benefiting in many other ways. Weight loss is not the only benefit you get from taking these products. So you should keep taking them if for no other reason to continue to get the other benefits, as well as helping you hold what weight you've plateaued at. If you go off the products and say, for example, lifestyle hasn't changed that much, eating habits haven't. If you go off the product, then you may gain back weight. So by staying on the product, you help maintain the weight that you've gotten down to. A lot of times when people are frustrated with the fact that they've plateaued for a while, I ask them, well, have you gained back a lot of weight? And the answer 99 times out of 100 is, well, no. So there's a benefit right there. It's at least helping you from gaining back the weight that you lost. And so it's a great thing to do, to keep taking the product, and you're retraining your body, you're re-educating your body. So just be patient, continue to take it.
I think Tony might have had a question there.
Okay.
Where'd she go?
Somebody did have a question. We're looking for that. And well, Amanda's looking for that.
Does the product curb the appetite? Oh, yes, she already answered it, but.
Okay, yeah, and so what the product does is when your body is metabolizing fat, that is a natural way to curb your appetite. That's kind of a natural appetite suppressant. Your body is now gaining energy from burning fat. Therefore, it says to the brain, okay, I don't need food because I'm getting the energy I need. And that acts kind of as a natural appetite suppressant. Now, do we have any ingredients that are appetite suppressants in the product? Not really, like Hoodia, things like that. No, we don't. But it does seem to have a natural appetite suppressant effect. We get that report from many, many people taking our product. And let's see, what else do we have here regarding Trufix, the drinks, anything along those lines? Let's see. No, so let's move on to some of the other products and other questions that you have, which is, let's see. Oh, it says, why doesn't Renew have magnesium if it's similar to a cleanse product, to cleanse products offered by other companies? And if you think back on your past with other companies and think of cleanse products that they've offered, again, I'm not going to mention any names here. Let me say this. I didn't do, for another company that a lot of you are familiar with, I didn't do that particular cleanse product. And when we designed this cleanse product, we did not actually look at that product as a model or blueprint, if you will. In fact, we actually didn't look at any other company's products. We started from scratch with that product and wanted to build the best mild cleanse product that we could. We wanted to build a cleanse product that would be safe to take on an ongoing basis. A lot of cleanse products that are out there are very harsh. They're not ones that you want to take on a regular basis, on a continuing basis. You need to just do a cleanse process for 30 to 60 days on other products. This one is designed to continually cleanse the product, to continually be of benefit, and to be of a nature that you can take it without it being dangerous to take it on a continuing basis. And that's one of the things we really like about the Renew. So, if you look at our Renew and compare it to other formulas, you'll see there's some things we have that others don't, some things we don't have that others do. Just know we felt it was best not to try to take someone else's product and use that as a starting point. We felt it was best to start from scratch with this one. Start anew with the Renew product. And so anyway, that's what we've done. Now, here's a big question that comes up fairly often. That is sucralose safe? Was it in your original blood chemistry formula? First of all, no, it wasn't in the original blood chemistry formula. We did experiment with that other product. The request was made that it had to be made. We had to make it taste better and that type of thing. So we began working with other ingredients, including sucralose, but monk fruit, things like that, to see what we could do to sweeten it. So other products that I've done in the past with other companies have employed sucralose from time to time, but hadn't always employed the sucralose. I'm okay with sucralose, guys, and I'll tell you why. Let me share with you the sucralose. Sucralose got a bad rap on a lot of the blogs out there. When it first came out, it was the darling of the sweetening industry. But then not long after, scare things started coming up, like it causes cancer, it does this, it does that. And unfortunately, a lot of people latched onto that. Let me talk about the claims of sucralose and that it might cause some health problems. Number one, understand the experiments were done on rats. Doing experiments on rats are not the same as doing experiments on humans. What an ingredient can cause in a rat does not many times mean it will cause the same reaction in a human being. Number two, anytime you look at any ingredient, whether it's a mineral, a vitamin, a plant extract, an herbal, anytime you look at almost any ingredient, if you overdo that ingredient, you're going to have harmful side effects. That's just the law of nature. You want to do things in moderation. If you use too little, you don't get a benefit, but if you use too much, it can be harmful. In fact, most things that will be harmful, vitamin A, D, zinc, copper, you can name almost any ingredient you want. And if you use too much, it's going to be harmful. When it came to testing sucralose, what we've been able to find on many of the tests that were done is the amount of the sucralose that was being used. If you were to translate the amount they were giving the rats and compare that to a rat's body weight and then come up with a similar amount that a human being of, say, 150, 160 pounds would take to meet that same ratio that they were giving some of those rats, it would be virtually impossible for a human being to take that much sucralose a day. I mean, they were giving such incredibly high doses that you could do almost anything to those rats at the same high dose with any ingredient and have some pretty bad side effects come about. I was looking at one of the studies done, and I calculated out that if you were to even reach what they were giving the rats in sucralose to take our heart and hydration product or our Trufix product, you'd have to take about 500 sticks a day. So, unless you're planning to take 500 sticks a day, but if you're doing that, there's other ingredients in those products that will also cause some problems if you're doing that high a dose. So again, sucralose is a great sweetener. We defend it. We will continue to use it. There are some sweeteners that we won't use that as we looked into and we did not feel comfortable. Aspartame. A lot of popular soft drinks out there use aspartame. We choose not to use aspartame because of some of the research that we saw. Safety is our first priority in creating formulas here. If we look at an ingredient and do our digging and drill down on that ingredient and it looks like there's a possibility it could cause a problem, we're not going to use it. We feel completely confident in offering sucralose. We use just a very few milligrams to sweeten our product with it. It's nowhere near any kind of overdose on that, and it's a great artificial sweetener to use. So we continue to use that. And as long as we're talking about harmful or supposedly harmful ingredients, another question here is about the dye, the blue dye that's used, for example, in the Trufix capsules. What do we use for that? Let me find my notes on that, because I actually have done some research in the past, and I went back and cut and paste on that. We use blue number 1 on that particular product. Now, understand, guys, there's a website out there called PubMed. It's actually a government website, and it's a good website because it kind of gives summaries of all the research that's being done on different ingredients, and it tells where it was done. Was it done at Harvard, at Oxford? Was it done at Yale? Was it done at UCLA? Was it done, in George Washington Hospital? Where was the research done? Where were the clinicals done? And PubMed is really good because it gives you resources of that. If you dig into blue dye number 1, in fact, for that matter, if you dig into red 40 and yellow 5 and yellow 6, some of the other artificial colorings that have gotten a really bad rap out there, there are no conclusive studies that they're harmful or that they cause cancer, that they're just not there. Again, it's something that's, how gossip works. You say a rumor or say something about somebody to one person, they turn around and gossip it about. It gets worse every time. It gets passed on, and that is what happens on the internet all the time now. The internet's a great tool to use for research, but it's also a double-edged sword. Gossiping, false rumors, false information can get magnified and blown out of proportion. When you dig into the artificial dyes, some of the more popular ones that have had a bad rep, blue 1, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, you'll see that they really don't have any kind of proof at all that they cause cancer. So does our blue number 1 that we use in Trufix causing cancer or cause health problems? No, it doesn't. Again, if we felt at all, we're not going to risk people's health for the sake to have a blue capsule. So anyway, it is. It's perfectly okay for that. Now let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, okay. So on a prior call, I mentioned, someone asked, are you going to have a probiotic come out? And yes, we are. And let me just say this, that probiotic product, again, we didn't take somebody else's probiotic and use that as a starting place and say, okay, how can we kind of mirror this or mimic? We did not do that. We started from scratch on our probiotic. We are releasing a product, guys, that is very unique in many ways. You'll see when it's released. And it is an incredibly good product, and it has attributes to it that you're not going to find out there in other probiotics. And our time frame, guys, is we want to launch that at Summit this summer in St. Louis. So all the more reason to be in St. Louis this summer. It's not only that one, but some other really cool products are going to be announced and launched at True Summit. And yes, that will be one of them, and it's going to be an awesome product. Actually, it's one of those things where I look at how I chose to do that one, and I'm surprised that nobody thought of it before, but nobody has, to my knowledge. And so it's pretty unique, and you guys are really going to like that. Here's a great question. How long should we give the products to work? 3 months, 6 months, first signs that are working. So again, if it's weight loss, we've already talked about plateauing and how that works. Let me say this. Everybody's physiology is totally unique. No two people are exactly the same. Their physiology is unique. Their lifestyle is unique. I mean, there's all these factors in lifestyle. How you eat, your stress factors, how much sleep you get, how much exercise, how much water you drink. There's all these variables that are in there. So it's really hard to say, okay, if you take this product, you can expect results in this amount of time. It just doesn't work that way. Some people can take a product and within days, they're going to recognize the difference. Other people can take that exact same product and even have maybe some of the exact same health challenges, and yet it will take a while. It could take months before they see results. Everybody's physiology and situation is unique and different. One thing I can also say, though, and believe me, I'm not advocating that everybody get off their meds, all right? Prescriptions have a place. They really do. But prescriptions can interfere with the way that some of our products work. We design our products so they won't interfere with the medications, but some medications can interfere with our product. And so that can also have an impact. As far as a set time frame, really, to be honest and candid, we really can't predict that because everybody's situation is different. What I can say is most people who take our products recognize the benefits quite quickly. For example, blood sugar management, when they take Truvix, in the vast majority of cases, people usually recognize the benefit within the first day or two. That in general is quite quick. So there are some benefits that most people recognize quickly. But to be able to say, hey, take this and it's going to do this for you, if we try to do that, we'll just be setting you up for frustration. Another question, what are your credentials and how did you create such brilliant, life-changing products? Let me tell you about that, a little history. And again, guys, I'm very straightforward and candid. I don't try to embellish things or try to make things seem more grandiose or anything like that. My original background, guys, my college education was in accounting. I actually worked for an international Fortune 500 company for about 10 years. I hired on as a staff accountant. I worked hard, I worked smart, and I became the youngest controller for that company in its entire history. However, during that time, I became a workaholic at the gym. I was going 5 to 6 days a week, 2 or 3 hours a day. I actually started to get pretty cut up and everything. I looked into supplements. I never did look into things like steroids. Well, I looked into them and decided immediately I wasn't going to take steroids. So I never did anything like that. But I did look into supplementation, and I began to take a keen interest in it. And so I began to do research on my own, actually for my own uses and own purposes. I was actually able to, over the years, develop a supplement routine, which I felt was so incredibly good and gave me good results. And guess what, guys? That same supplement routine, our complete product, our MSM, our pycnogenol, our omega-3, those products are my regimen. If you look at our supplement products, that is my regimen that I've been using for many years now. And the development of that regimen is a result of years of hands-on use and knowing that it's one of the best yet most simple regimens that you can get into. However, so what I did is I ended up having my own consulting company. I would help businesses get set up with their key executives, their computer systems, their what we call SOPs, standard operating procedures, all of those things. And I ended up working with a couple of PhDs who wanted me to look at a company they wanted to start up to see if it would be viable or not from a business perspective. And so as I worked with them, because they had their PhDs in health and nutrition and biochemistry, those types of things, I asked them some of my questions that I had as a result of my own research I'd done. They were amazed that I was asking the questions I was asking. And in fact, they ended up giving me a white paper to read, say, hey, read this and tell me what you think. A white paper, guys, if you don't know what that is what people put together when they do a clinical test. The white paper it basically says what the purpose of the test is, and it will talk about the methodology of the test, and then it will report on that methodology if it was followed, and then it will present conclusions. They're usually full of a lot of technical jargon that will put most people to sleep. This guy gave me the white paper, my first white paper I'd ever received, and it was quite thick. And he said, hey, when you get a chance, read it. Then whenever you finish, come back and tell me what you think. Well, I went home and devoured it that night, read the whole thing, went back the next day and said, I've read it. What do you think? He said, you read the whole thing? And I said, yeah. And he said, so what do you think? And I said, I think that this particular ingredient is the tests that were done by a company that is paid to make it look good, or the company, for all I know, maybe even wholly owned by the company that wants to market the ingredient. But I believe that it's biased, and this clinical is trying to present this ingredient in a very favorable light. And he said, you are absolutely right. Not many people, even PhDs, would have been able to figure that out. Then he gave me more white papers to read, and we had great conversations over them. Long story short, by the end of that, he said, you know, Dave, you ought to look at a career change. You really have a knack for understanding research and seeing through the smoke and mirrors. And you're very good at it. Not that you're also very good at the consulting you do, but not a lot of people have the knack you do in understanding research. And so I toyed around with that idea for about a year. And then in 1993, I took the leap. I started my first health company. I had a partner, a medical doctor, in that company with me, and I produced my first formula. It worked extremely well, did what it was supposed to do. And ever since then, that's my passion. Has been health and anti-aging, doing various formulas over the years, branching out into things like the skincare aspect of anti-aging, those type of things. And I just love it. I love what I do. And I have to say this also, guys. Yes, I do feel I have a knack for understanding research, being able to see through the smoke and mirrors. But the bottom line at the end of the day is I feel like I've been led to things. I give credit to where credit is due. And I feel that when you have the right motivation to develop things, that you're blessed and you're led and guided to things that will help you help people. And so I will always give credit to where credit is due for some of the wonderful formulas that I've been able to be a part of. And so anyway, that's kind of my background, where I come from on that. And I plan to keep doing this for many years to come because I love it. And I love the results. I love it. Tanya's getting all teary-eyed on me, so I have to avoid looking at her face. Anyway, so I love what I do. And one thing is, I'm not a big fan of travel, guys. And I get a lot of requests to go out and do meetings. I try to avoid Saturday meetings because usually if I do that, then I'm not able to attend my own church services on Sunday. And I like to do that as often as I can. So I'm not able to do a lot of Saturday things. But when I get like a Thursday night invitation, those are great because I'm able to be back in time. But even then, I try to keep my priorities right. I don't want to be away from my lovely wife, Brianna, and our lovely daughter, Nia. She's 1.5 now, and we've kind of made it official now. Bria's expecting. Our little girl, Mia's going to have a companion. We don't know the gender yet, but Bri's due in the middle of November. And so I try to limit my travel because I like to be a present dad in my kids' lives, as well as my kids from my prior marriage and my wonderful stepson that Bri had. And so and plus when you travel a lot, it gets kind of old, quite frankly. Being on a plane a lot is not a fun thing to do. But I do travel and I do meetings as often as I can without sacrificing family things. And my motivation is not because I enjoy the travel. My motivation is to get face to face with you guys out there and to be able to hear firsthand the benefits and the things that the products are doing for you. That's the part that I love about this job, is when I'm able to just rub shoulders with you and not only hear about the benefits firsthand, but to feel of your good spirits. We have got a lot of great people in this company, people who who are doing this for the right reason. Their motivation isn't a paycheck. The paycheck's nice. It's a great thing that comes about as the result of your service you give. But they are in it for the service to help and benefit and bless people's lives. And I love rubbing shoulders with those folks in our company. So guys, let me just say this. Thank you for sharing Truvision. I've said this before. Many of you have heard it, but we can have the best products in the world, but without good people like you sharing them, they're just going to sit on the shelf and collect dust. And you guys are out there sharing it. And as a result, tens of thousands and soon hundreds of thousands of people are going to benefit from your efforts to share our products and help people have a better quality of life and maintain a great quality of life. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Tanya, for setting up this call. I appreciate it.